Hello, La Pluma students in grades TK through 2nd. Today we're going to talk a little bit about artist Charlie Harper. He's one of my favorites, just such an amazing illustrator. And he really liked to stylize his illustrations. So here you can see he's really, to stylize means to really simplify the patterns and the shapes down to like the most basic lines and shapes and patterns. So you can really see he did that here in this picture of a bird. And then I wanted to show you this picture of a koala bear and her baby. And you can see he's just using very basic shapes, very basic lines and patterns, and he's creating like this really cool illustration. I have one more illustration by Charlie Harper to show you. This one is of two whales, but it's so interesting how he just really reduced each line down to its most basic curve and was able to really convey in a lot of simplicity these whales in the ocean. Okay, for our project today, we are going to be inspired by Charlie Harper in creating a landscape that is stylized or is broken down into basic lines and shapes. So this is a seascape landscape. So here we have the waves crashing on the shore, and then here we have the wind blowing, and up here we have the sky or the clouds. And you can see when it's stylized, it's more abstract. It's not like a portrait of the ocean. It's very much more artistic, stylized. It's more of an idea or an interpretation of the ocean. All right, students in TK through 2nd grade. We are going to need a white piece of paper and either a pencil or a marker or a crayon. It doesn't really matter what you're writing with. And we are going to divide our paper into 3 different parts: the foreground, the middle ground, and the background. So for the foreground, which is where the waves are crashing, we're just gonna do a curvy line, and it's gonna go all the way across your paper, and it's gonna be a little bit, if this is the halfway mark on your paper, it's gonna be a little bit lower than the halfway mark. Excuse me. For our sky, we are going to do just a curved line all the way across the paper. And again, if this is the halfway point, it's above the halfway point. So we kind of have 3 sections of our paper for our landscape. We're gonna have, again, the foreground, the middle ground, and the background. And this will be our ocean, this will be our wind, and this will be our sky. All right, so let's get started with the ocean. I am going to do some more of these curvy, wavy lines, and I'm not really trying to follow a pattern with the lines. I want them all to be different, almost like as if each one is a wave that has crashed on the shore after another wave. So I'm gonna start just a little bit lower, and I'm gonna go up, and then up close to this line. So I'm not copying the lines, I'm trying to do a completely different curved line pattern. Okay, so there's another one, and let's do another right here. And I like that, I think that looks really cool. And so here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, and I have 1, 2, 3, so we just need one more. And I'm going to try to make this curved line very different from the first 3. Oh, I like that. Okay, so you can see that each curved line is different. All right, there are our waves for our foreground. Now we are going to work on our wind. a lot of times at the beach it's windy. So what we're gonna do is we're going to do these spirals. And a spiral is like where you kind of start to make a circle, but then instead of connecting it, you get smaller and smaller and smaller. So let's start with, I'm gonna follow this line and I'm gonna make a circle, but get smaller and keep getting smaller until I have a spiral that goes in. And then I wanna extend this tail to show that the wind is blowing. It's not just in one place swirling, it's kind of moving. Okay, I am going to add some more spirals. Ooh, this is a nice big spiral. And I like the tail on that one, and I'm gonna come in between these two spirals with a tail and then stretch it out to the side. And I'm gonna, so I've been going kind of clockwise with my spirals, but this one I'm gonna go counterclockwise, which means the opposite direction. And I think we maybe need one spiral here and one spiral here. And so you can go either direction. You can see this one's going forward and this one's going backwards. And then I'm gonna go back in here and add some little dots, and that to me looks kind of like the sand that's blowing around at the coast. Okay, I think that we are ready for our sky. For the sky, I wanted it to look kind of like rays of sunlight, or sometimes you see the clouds kind of moving. They almost look like they're going up and down. So this could be, because it's abstract, it could be rays of light, or it could be clouds, or it could be both. And you would get to decide what you want that to be. And I think that if you want to color this, then you would really get more of the idea. Is it blue? Is it blue sky? Is it white cloud? Is it yellow sunlight? Okay, so I'm gonna start here with kind of a sideways happy face, just a curved line. And then I'm gonna go below that, and I'm gonna curve out, go off the top of the page. And then right here, I'm gonna go in between these two lines, and I'm gonna curve out to the top of the page again. And now I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna do an over curve. So these were under curves, kind of like you. This is more like an over curve. And I'm gonna do another over curve there. And honestly, you can be creative and decide how you wanna do your curves. You don't have to match mine exactly. So if you think you wanna put a third curve in there, go for it. If you wanna put one going this way and touching, you can. You can add more curved lines, but we just wanna kind of get the idea of a stylized beach landscape that is just using very simple shapes and lines to create the feeling or the idea of being at the beach. All right, I have gone back and added some color to my stylized landscape of the beach, and I used different shades of blue for each section of water. I did darker gray. I used the same color, same crayon, but I pressed harder for my spirals in the wind, and then I pressed softer to create kind of the air behind the wind. And then for my sky, I did some of these sections yellow for light, and then the other sections blue for sky. So that is the completed stylized landscape inspired by Charlie Harper. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.